Discussing move to earn NFTs and whether they are here to stay or just a flash in the pan. As usual, nothing in this video is financial advice. We're not financial advisors. The NFT space is incredibly risky, so always do your own research. And if you enjoy the content, make sure that you hit the like button, smash the subscribe button. Really helps us out. Micah, how's it going? I'm back from VCon. Hope you had a good weekend. We're talking move to earn today.
Yeah, it sounds like you had a better weekend than I did, but it's relaxing. I did, however, audience, please tell me if my audio is better. Pio is slowly but surely turning me into a YouTuber, so I got set up with a new mic. So hopefully that's better. But
You
yeah,
sound
so
great.
yeah, a couple weeks ago I'd gotten into STEPN. I'd finally decided to get into STEPN, and I realized pretty quickly that it's too far down the pyramid scheme to to actually make a lot of money or be able to trade in that environment. But I did realize that there's so much technology available now that that people are going to start moving into the Web3 space with these basically fitness apps or stuff related to Pokemon Go, like the ability to just sort of see where you are in the environment and collect things. It seems like a new area, and to be honest, I've been a little bit burnt out sitting at my computer. So if I can find a way to trade NFTs that still has a gamified get out and move around idea, and I can get some exercise. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm not exactly in the best of shape after 2 years of working from home and stuff like that. I know you were playing basketball, so maybe you were in better shape than I was. But yeah, just trying to find that is there potential for that industry? So the first one I got into was Laguna Carta in our Discord mentioned one called AGLET,
Well, so
which
hold on
is
before we even
yeah.
dive in, right? This is a new thing, move to earn being a new thing. And it's something that I think a lot of people are doing like you, like easy, but there's also a lot of people that don't know much about it. Can you give a high level explanation of what exactly move to earn is? Obviously, you mentioned Step In. That is the first notable project, maybe a little bit about that one too, but help people understand what the hell is move to earn? How can you make money with it? How does the whole thing work?
Yeah. So the idea comes out of just the technology on your phone is able to track your steps. There's obviously workout apps that are able to track your steps, able to track what you're doing. And there's ways to gamify that. So when you talked about Pokemon Go, you talked about other projects that came out that utilize those tools on your phone to be able to make a game out of it. So you're hatching eggs in Pokemon Go, it requires 10,000 steps. So people are just walking around trying to get those steps, and in return they get something of value. Now in Web 2, those things of value are only valuable from a in the game valuable. Oh, cool, you have a new Pokemon in the game, but you can't turn that into money. The
You don't
idea of
properly own it.
exactly you're just sort of gaining things in the game. So Web3 allows this kind of that on crack, because suddenly your steps, your sweat equity in real life can be turned into an asset that is used, like in Steppen's case, the asset you gain for walking is used to breed more of these shoes, and you require wearing these in-game shoes to be able to make money. So it's kind of pyramidy, because the only reason that token you're buying has value is because other users will want those shoes. But it means that you can actually take sweat equity and turn it into something of value that is sellable, even swappable to Solana. So you can one-to-one swap to Solana. That's true. I'm in Arizona, so it's getting shittier to go outside. But for the right price, for the right amount of money, I will 100% walk in 110 degrees. Um,
That's
but
hilarious. I can't
yes,
even
that's
see
the
the
concept.
comments. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't
So
even see the comments right now for some reason, but I have a question. So do you know what the token how do the tokenomics work so that money is being created, value is being created? Do they provide liquidity? I don't get it. Where is this money coming from that I get for walking, and why? Let's say I just dedicate my day to walking. So the whole day I'm just walking, stepping up a storm, I make more money. Where is that value coming from?
So Steppen is incredible at at having token sinks. They basically, there's two tokens in Steppen, and the main token you earn is called GMT, and there's another token that is earned by higher level shoes. But everything that's required to level the shoes, it costs GMT. Everything that's required to make new shoes, like breed shoes, requires GMT. So what happens is people can swap out GMT to Solana, but many times creating a new shoe, as in burning all that GMT that you stepped for or that other people stepped for, is economically worth more, right? So because it's sort of a pyramid scheme in that way of like the thing that's generating demand to GMT is the ability that there might be more demand by future people to buy the shoes you create. So what happens is a lot of people that are in STEPN are not turning that GMT into Solana, which drives up the demand for it, right? People are burning it. So all these burning mechanisms in the game means people say, I would rather not have the cash. I would rather have, GST. I think there's another one that's like another coin. But basically, the reason it has value is people are like, I could walk 10,000, I could walk, 20 days in a row to get new shoes, or I could buy 19 other users one day of walking and I could get new shoes right now. So those token sinks is what allows demand for these to happen. Is you're saying I don't want to have to walk 20 days in a row. I don't have to run 20 days in a row. I could have that new shoe and sell it today if I just buy more I borrow more GST on the market. So those token sinks is what allows it to have value. Now the the problem is the second that value goes away and everyone that is stepping wants to turn it back into Solana, then suddenly
Right.
people don't
That's it.
shoes. Yeah, people don't want to buy shoes to earn because suddenly the price of that token is going down. So it's dangerous, and there's a lot of ways that bad actors could try to game it, could try to like game the system. Like we've seen those things of like people with 30 phones trying to like pretend like all the phones are walking. So that's scary, right? People could just be trying to like fake those aspects to gain money. The thing STEPN does is based on the number of shoes you have in an account, you only get to earn for like 10 minutes. So you can't spend all day running around because it does cap like you get 10 minutes if you have one shoe to earn money. And then it like recharges over the day. So they've kind of made it where you can't really abuse it because they're sort of capping one account just only has 10 minutes to earn and then it's useless, right? Any extra running you do doesn't generate new money. Um but yeah, so it's a really powerful idea that holds at least like some short-term ability if you get in early, but
Well, what if you don't get in early?
I'm worried that there's a lot of because STEPN has made people so much money. I mean, there's stories.
Actually, so I don't know. I have no context on this. I know people are doing it. I know you did it. I think Wappy did it. And I know Easy did it. People are really making money with this.
Yeah, I mean, I did it a couple days in a row, and I had 3 pairs of shoes, and just walking for 10 minutes would make me $60. So yeah, so
What
and
are
it
you
feels
talking about?
yeah. So literally, I'd walk around the block. We walk the dog. I come back, and I'm like, oh, I made 12 GMT. Oh, and GMT is $5. Like GST is $5. So once you realize that you're at that phase, like it does make me a little nervous, right? I'm the sort of person that leaves the party before the music stops, and it does feel like a little unsustainable that walking around the block makes you $60. But I would love to be the person that started early and was generating GMT when it was 20 cents a piece, and the shoes are still like 13 Solana for a basic pair of shoes. So even with all that breeding and you can breed like every 48 hours, it's
So that
still
supply is increasing, but it's still holding like a pretty
yeah,
big
which
floor.
which I went through the Axie crash. I had a bunch of Axies when their supply of tokens, which in Axie, the supply of tokens, the only value that was generating, the only thing that SLP was valuable for was breeding. So it's the exact same idea is as long as people are buying new Axies, it holds value. The second there's not a market for breeding, it loses all of its value. So the fact that this is holding up a lot better than Axie did is a good sign. But I want to find the next pyramid scheme. I don't want to be on rung 9 of the popular pyramid scheme right now.
Yeah, and so there's a higher up from Adidas that's involved, right? And that's what got everybody initially
Yeah.
excited. So you're calling it a pyramid scheme. My thing is like if it is, first of all, everybody in the NFT space calls everything a Ponzi scheme. Everything, right?
That's
They
I don't think
call,
it's a Ponzi scheme. I think it's just a
okay,
pyramid scheme
pyramid
where
scheme, a
the
different one.
value is from future users. Like, you
Right,
need
right.
future users for it to be valuable.
Well, the average NFT person interchanges pyramid and Ponzi. And the other thing is that they'll call anything a pyramid or a Ponzi. They'll call Bitcoin, which is the opposite of a pyramid or a Ponzi, but they'll call that a Ponzi, right? So that's, people write that off in a heartbeat. But higher up from Adidas is here. So I'm like, what's this going to be in 1 year? Considering obviously that person from Adidas cares. He's not trying to make a short term thing. He's not trying to make like a rug pull or something like that. Do you have any prediction on where this could be in like a year?
So I don't think that, like, pyramid sounds like a negative thing to the company. Like, I think that STEPN, the company, is doing something bad, and I don't think that's true. Like, I think the economic model is a pyramid. So the users that are just trying to like flip these shoes for more and gain money from it, I think that does collapse. But it's still a good fitness app. Like, they have, they already have the tracking of, like where you ran today and how fast you were going. So it's a decent fitness app. So there might be like some element of it's a fitness app and it has all these interesting features, and then maybe you earn a little bit of money. But people that are buying a pair of shoes for $1,000 right now could still get wrecked, right? So I
Yeah.
think STEPN is a great company, but as somebody who's trying to make money, it doesn't matter if it becomes a really cool like Nike, like the Nike fitness app. It doesn't matter if it becomes that polished as a fitness app. I just think it's going to lose people money that are getting in. So that's the problem, right? It could be a great product, doesn't mean that right now is a good time to be buying it thinking that you're also going to get $80 a day forever, right? That's my worry is it can be an awesome product and you can still get wrecked in terms of what it's worth.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
that's my
can't think
fear.
that it's gonna last forever. So you sent me a few of these. So you sent Aglet. This is one of the ones that
Yeah.
you're trying to get in on now to theoretically so this is a whole movement, by the way. This isn't like just one thing with Step, and now other people are actually coming out. Are these copycats or are these actual quality entities coming through?
So this is the first one that really caught my eye. And what's interesting about it is STEPN is more like a fitness app. So it's purely just what speed you're going, you earn some coins. This one is coming at it from a totally different direction, which is it's an interesting game. It's you're collecting sneakers, and they've obviously taken the UI from Pokemon Go, and they've added like there's little sneaker boxes around town. And when you walk to those sneaker boxes in the physical location, you can click on it and you can redeem for either a new pair of sneakers, like you might get a new pair of sneakers, you might get more of the in-game currency. And I've been playing around with it, and it is legitimately like kind of fun. You can't battle the sneakers like Pokemon Go, but like you can collect them and you can like so it's more trying to be the Pokemon Go rather than like the hardcore fitness app. The thing that's scary about it, and this is like maybe a bigger thing on Web 2 companies, is that they have an NFT that they just started NFTs. So obviously they built this game as just being fun as a Web 2 app. And now they're like, oh shit, NFTs are a thing. Let's add NFTs in. So if you look on their website, even if you go where it says NFTs now available and click on that, they have a Medium post that says they're going to be on Immutable X. They dropped their first NFT, but what so they have this like kind of we have NFTs, but I'm just worried that as a company, they're not truly going to like open it up, right? They're not going to say you can buy and sell this on OpenSea, and we're going to turn our currency into uh, a coin that you can exchange for Ethereum. It does really still feel like they're a captive marketplace. So they've made NFTs, but they haven't like allowed you to turn them into actual money. So then I'm like, so what is it then? Like if I can't turn this into actual money, it's just a captive marketplace where you can buy and sell for their in-game premium currency, which they're making money off of, but I can't exchange that premium currency back into money. So it does feel like I'm a little worried they're using NFTs as like a way to sell their kind of interesting Web 2 sneaker collection game, like sneaker collection Pokemon Go. But the worry on this game is I'm not sure that they're going to truly open it up to people making money, right? They just want you to buy their premium currency so you can buy an NFT that hopefully one day will be sellable on Immutable X. Um, So yeah,
Do you see a typo on what I have pulled up?
what is it? Oh yeah. So I'm a little worried that they hired an intern to be like, whoa, we need web 2.0 or 3.0. Let's add NFTs. So I'm playing around with it because it costs nothing to start, but it's still one that's kind of at the back of my head of like, if they do turn all of their cool sneakers into NFTs, and they have branded ones, like they have Yeezys on there, they have Crocs, they have all these like cool things, but I'm just worried that like it's not going to turn into an actual you make money off these sneakers. I'm still going to play around with it because it's a cool concept, but I'm not throwing money at it because I need them to actually prove that they're going to like really become a Web3 brand, not use the word NFTs to sell their premium currency in their basically Web2 game. This one,
Okay, and
this
real quick, that last one was called aglet.app,
Aglet.
AGLET.app. It had a typo on one of their pages where they misspelled the word Ethereum, which, you know, look,
Not
typos are
bullish.
typos, but that's a tough one. That's a tough one. This one is called genopets.me, GENO pets.me. How did you find these, by the way?
So I had looked at once I got the word move to earn, and just coming off of like when I would look up stuff from STEPN, Aglet showed up a couple times there. Just looking at like other move to earn stuff. There was somebody posted on Twitter like a sort of complete list of gamified gamified brands that were coming out. And then I just sort of followed from there and looked up the ones that I thought were cool. So mostly just Googling move to earn related stuff and seeing what popped up. This one is actually kind of big. Like when I looked at it at first, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna totally get into this. But the price for it's on Solana. It's a kind of closer to trying to be a Pokemon Go. But you can buy like these like land things, these Genesis lands. You can buy these Genesis, basically Pokemon, and then they've started to have breeding. So that's following the STEPN model, right? Is if you have these things that can breed, suddenly you can start. If this thing picks up, you're sort of the supplier for future players coming in. So that's really exciting. The thing is, I might not be as early as I want to be because the starting price for one of these Genesis Pokemon basically is 48 soul.
Wow.
So it's not unheard of. Like, do I wish I was the person that discovered this like when it first come out? Yes. But it does feel like it has more runway than STEPN, just because I think breeding is relatively early. Like I'm on their Discord now. Yeah. So I should have. Sounds like Easy Eats talked about them briefly 4 months ago, and I just fucking missed it. So,
Wow. Wow.
yeah. So of course, now that I'm coming in as the non-Solana guy, I'm like, man, I would have bought this at the very beginning, but too late now. But no, so it's interesting because they've just started like the staking, they've started the breeding relatively recently, so it just feels like it has more runway than STEPN, even if it is sort of established, and obviously that entry price of what is, I mean, now it's $2,500 probably, right? 50 soul. So that's not cheap, but like you get two of those for 5,000, and this thing takes off, and you're breeding them. I mean, it's got more runway for if users take off and it's $300 every single thing you breed. Like it does have room, so they're going to go PvP, PvE. You buy land, so there's potential that there's even like an other side land style thing where you can earn part of the in game, whatever that means. So this one's interesting, but it's like high budget for me. So I still feel like I'm
Now,
I'm
now
somewhere in
it
the
is.
middle. Yeah, like I'm in the middle of the pyramid, but it feels like it has more layers where it could go. Uh, yeah, I wish I'd caught this one earlier, but
And this is live. This is happening.
yeah. So you get access to, at this point, a lot of it is tokenomic stuff. Like, oh, you can because there's an aspect of like you get to walk around with it, and that's what gains you this in-game currency and gains you valuable things. You gain access to that if you have a like a Genesis pet. Then you have to do like a little application thing on their website to gain access to the actual beta. So the thing is, I haven't done that yet. The other thing that threw me off of it was it seems to be Android users that they want. So I don't even think it's accessible on iOS yet. So that's the other thing that's kind of thrown me off of that. But I just it's so interesting that probably if I had an Android, I would immediately sign up for it and probably buy two. But but yeah, it's just this is a real product at this point, especially compared to most things on Solana. So yeah,
All
so
right, GENO Pets.me. Mike was looking at that one. Sounds like we're a little bit late. Now we got dot moves. So that's DOTMOOVS.
yeah, so when I first saw this one, I was like, "Oh, this is a really cool concept. I would totally do this." It's it's hard because the previous one I said is so established that I don't have as much to gain. This one is not very established, which is basically they have this concept that you could do like skills challenges against other people, and the AI in the application should be able to tell who wins. So the best example they have there is, let's say it's like this right here where they're showing it is like who can keep the soccer ball up longer, who can juggle more. And the AI
Freestyling, if you will.
yeah. So the AI should be able to tell when it hits the ground and count the juggles for each person, and then basically, right, you can try to compete against other users live using your phone. So it's a cool idea is you could do that for golf, right? If it could figure out some way to tell who made the putt and the distance, right? You could play a game of horse with another person, fully online, and the app would be able to tell who wins. So there's a really interesting concept there. The only thing that exists right now is this soccer. So or football, as somebody in the audience wants me to say. The soccer actually also came from England. Like they said that too. So just so you understand, that is a real term for this game. Um, but that's the only thing they have right now is they have these NFT balls, soccer balls for sale. I'm sure that's what you need to have to actually join the competitions. But it just feels really early, so it's still relatively cheap. This is not one that I immediately decided I would go into, but like it's a really interesting concept if they brought in more sports, right? You could play horse virtually against people. You could train the AI to be able to tell all sorts of things related to little skills competitions. And then if you win that skills competition, you gain currency to be able to buy cooler stuff. So it's an interesting concept.
I'm still just trying to understand where the liquidity comes from long term. That's like the one thing, and I know you kind of gave the breakdown, but it just felt super pyramidy. So I just wonder where the liquidity comes long term, especially for something like this that's so niche. Like this is appealing to the community of people that are really, really good, specifically at soccer freestyling. You know what I mean? It's such a specific thing to be good at, you know?
Well, that's what they're doing right now, right? But it doesn't mean that that's the only sport that they expect to have. So
I
if
know. The
all of
NFT
these
space is
products,
already so niche.
yeah,
That's the thing. It's just already so niche. You're gonna tell me you're gonna build out stuff so that then when you get one for basketball,
mhm,
whoever's the best at behind the back dribbling and stuff, it's just so specific, you know?
yeah. But that's the thing is like what I showed you with like STEPN, where it just feels like so well put together. Once it's put together and everything is fully built out, probably all of the gains have already been made, right? Like the fact that I can creatively think about what this might be in the future is where you can make a gamble that when it's fully polished, other people who didn't make that gamble have to buy from me, right? If the tokens aren't worth anything right now and I'm just racking them up, then later if they add more sports and you have to own a putter to do the putting competitions or a basketball to do the basketball competitions, and I've gotten those by playing, that's where the money can be, right? Or I have the money for somebody that's trying to enter the ecosystem. So I don't want to oversell this product. I'm not like rushing into this one.
You're also not good enough at soccer to make any money off of this.
That's the thing. And that's the problem for me is like I would not actually play this. Like I wouldn't try to compete at soccer. So it is too early for me to like enjoy playing this game. But just as a concept, even if they don't do it right, it is an interesting idea, right? It's kind of social. You get to like get outside. And if there's cooler skins you can earn, right? Like if there's cooler skins or cooler things that you get to use in game, it has some sort of runway. I'm not. I feel like I'm trying to like sell you this product, and I'm not.
No, I know you're
It would
not. I mean,
totally
you're also
fail.
you're not
But
good enough to make money off of it at sports, so that's a part of it too. I'm just confused by all this stuff. Like, so, ladies and gentlemen, Micah said to me, "I want to do a video on the move to earn stuff." I tweeted about this, the move to earn stuff that I'm looking at because of the success of STEPN. Mike is really good at buying and selling NFTs and just participating in Web3. So I know the way Micah thinks. He's like, all right, I took some advantage of Steppen, but you weren't the absolute earliest. You want to be early in the next thing. These are the things you're looking at that you could be potentially early in. I'm questioning the entire mechanic
mhm.
of move to earn because I just think about things long term. I'm not interested in getting in something now and being in early to try to make a buck in the next 3 to 4 weeks. But I know a lot of people in the NFT space are. So I want to give you guys this content so that you can check it out. This last one's just funny to me. It's like, yeah, if you're incredibly good at doing soccer freestyling, you can make money doing it. And it's like, okay, cool. So NFT influencer Daniel God Hits can absolutely crush this. But me and Micah aren't about to just be doing some crazy soccer freestyling. And I just still don't understand where the liquidity is coming from. But we're on to the last one that you found. So this is OLIVEX. Is that right?
Yeah. So this one, the other thing that struck me about this one is there's actually a product that they previously made. So a just Web 2 app called Zombies Run that I had actually used previously, and it was really entertaining. So it was like a fully audio, you're running, and it describes the story, and it'll say like, hey, we need new supplies from the warehouse, and it would just track you running and say like, okay, you've ran to the warehouse. Then it would be like, hey, there's zombies close to get to 8 miles per hour
Yeah, I
speed.
lost you there for a
Audio
second. I
connection.
can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so it was just this really interesting product that like motivated you to run by using the story of like these zombies come after you, or oh, you're gonna need to outrun this group here, or like oh, you've gotten the supplies and made it back to the base. So it was interesting, it made you want to run by just making the story interesting. So when they announced these Web3 products, they're just kind of taking that and trying to add you know, a gamified side of it with tokens. Now, all of these ones, because your point is like, where the hell does the liquidity come from? Obviously, all of these, it just depends what sort of token sinks they make, right? If they don't make interesting enough stuff for you to spend the tokens on, the tokens won't gain value. So I'm not like all of these things are too early. I don't think that these are quick flips, right? You buy this right now, you're probably waiting for them to make something more complete before it's worth money. But like if you can get in early enough that it's cheap and you can get exercise from these sorts of things, it's kind of a win-win, right? If this is entertaining to you and it keeps you from buying dumb shit during the downturn of the market and you get exercise doing it, then cool. So for me, it's like the liquidity on a lot of these is going to relate to what happens with the tokens, like whether or not the tokens actually are redeemable for something cool or redeemable for additional NFTs that make you more powerful. Like that's the whole game. That's the whole game space, right? Is the game has to be interesting enough for the NFTs to be worth anything. There has to be
And they
something
can't figure that
to
out
it.
right now,
Yeah,
right?
like
That
there's
no
no
one's figured
games
it
that are
out.
fun enough. But like imagine Pokemon Go. Imagine if you literally just reskin Pokemon Go, but you could sell the Pokemon. Like like for real money. Like oh, a Charizard is point 0.3 Ethereum. Like how fucking cool would that be? And how much would you want to like go out and try to catch another Charizard to make more money? So like the problem is there's nothing interesting enough that has actually captured what moves to earn could be. Steppen is the closest, but I'm worried that it's going to have to crash relatively soon. But I'm just trying to find that next thing. What is going to actually be as interesting as Pokemon Go, but involve you being able to sell it for money? And I think that if you catch that project early, you're getting rich as hell. Like
I mean, yeah, like, yeah,
imagine
it's so hard
Pokemon
to.
Go Summer, but with money. Like Pokemon Go Summer money. That is what I'm looking for. And I'm gonna have to miss on a lot of them before I hit that. But like, it's just these people are trying to take that technology and turn it into, monetary stuff, and that's at least as interesting to me as Goblin Town that everyone in the comments is talking about. I promised myself I wouldn't buy dumb shit, and so I didn't mint it, and now I'm mad about that. But at least I'm getting in shape while I'm while I'm missing out on those earnings.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing this stuff, Micah. It's not my cup of tea, but I feel like the sleuths on in, NFT Discord, NFT Twitter, our audience will probably appreciate this because I know people are always looking for ways to make money, and people that have more time than I do can figure this stuff out and actually benefit from it. For me, until I have a crystal clear understanding of exactly where the money's coming from long term, right? Now, I understand in the short term, it's like a pyramid. But until I understand where it's coming from long term, I can't participate, and thus I'm not going to be early, right? That's what happens. Is if you
Yep.
ask too many questions, you're just not early. You need to blindly deploy capital and hope that you hit the nail on the head with one of them, right? Or just to have a gigabrain and be able to research enough that something clicks or something, right? But no, thank you for sharing this. At the end of the day, I don't really see us doing a ton of move to earn content, but I hope, Micah, that you're able to find the first Pokemon Go style thing that pops off. Have you deployed capital into any of those things that you just shared, or are you just in the research phase with
I'm
everything?
just in the research phase. I'm really looking for, if I'm going to deploy capital into any of them, it's going to be the GENO Pets one. I just need
Okay.
to make sure that I would be able to play in the, in the demo. People in the comments are already even mentioning other ones, which I am 100% like. Catch me on Twitter and tag me in them because I will 100% look at them. Apparently, the like Jadu Jetpacks one, like that
Well, that's a
ecosystem
big
is,
name. That's an
yeah,
actual, yeah.
that's a really interesting one. And there's a couple other they've mentioned. So like I I'm trying to be really careful with capital right now because there's a bunch of, it's fire in a lot of, everything's on fire in some regards. So I'm really waiting for like, a solid option to come up, but you have to research 20 projects before you're going to find one that's good. So yeah, I'm just kind of sharing what that journey is. Even if Pio doesn't like it, I hope some of the people watching are interested in this area. And once it takes off, Pio, I'll do these streams from my mansion, and you can just, you can check it out.
That's what I was saying. It doesn't matter if I'm not interested. It never matters if one individual person isn't interested. If a bunch of people are, it's just a wrap. How much money did you deploy into STEPN?
So I deployed $18,000, and
Damn.
and what was sad is I got back out with the same amount of Soul. The problem was Soul was
Soul
now
dumped.
$10,000. So I
So
think
you took an
I
$8,000
lost eight
haircut?
thousand dollars probably about like 2 weeks. But if I'd held it in Soul, I would have also taken that amount of a haircut. So at least I like got a, you know what, I got a little bit of exercise for my $8,000 loss. Whereas if it had been Solana, I would have just lost $8,000 and I'd be equally as out of shape. So I'm the real winner here.
I mean, if you had just you could have think about that 8K, right? You could have paid a personal trainer almost 450 bucks a month for
But that
18
was
months.
no, but that was Solana. That was Solana taking. Steppen was fine during that whole thing. The problem was its underlying token went down by 40%. So, it was unrelated to the project. I don't think that makes the project look bad. Just I need to have it in cash. I think what you're really saying is I shouldn't have had anything that wasn't cash at that moment because we all got kind of wrecked. You saying you totally missed that? I don't think you totally missed that dump of
I don't have much
30%.
Solana.
Okay.
No, I hold like a lot of Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I don't like pay attention to the day-to-day price movement, like
That's
it just
smart.
I
That's
yeah, when you
smart right now.
when you think about like just buying an NFT project, I've been pricing it in US dollars, and that's why I was curious when you said the 18K.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, look, this is clearly something. I thought it was only step, and you sent me four more that you're researching. I just popped on Twitter while we were talking real quick. other ones that we aren't talking about have started replying to the video that we're doing right now saying, oh, like we want to talk to you too. So apparently this is a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, follow Micah with the research, and maybe one of you will make some money. I have no doubt that Mike is going to figure something out and make money with it in Move to Earn. I just, I don't know if it's my cup of tea, but that doesn't matter. Make sure that you hit the like button, smash the subscribe button. Micah will be doing shows with us once a week. Mike, as usual, thanks for joining, bud.
Yeah, thanks a bunch. Later.